So, you're dreaming of studying in Australia. That's an incredible goal. But, standing between you and that dream is one really crucial step: the Subclass 500 student visa. Now, I know it can seem super complicated, but don't you worry. Over the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly what you need to know so you can tackle this whole process with total confidence.
So are you ready? Because this explainer is all about turning what feels like a complex maze into a clear path forward. First up, let's talk numbers, 3 of them to be exact, that you absolutely need to have in your head. First, let's talk about how long this visa lasts. We're talking up to 6 years, which is usually designed to match the length of your course. That is huge. It means you don't have to worry about reapplying right in the middle of your degree. You can just focus completely on your studies. Okay, next up, the cost. The base application fee starts from around 2,000 Australian dollars. Now keep in mind, that's just the starting point. It doesn't include other potential costs like health checks or biometrics, but some applicants might actually be exempt from the fee, so you'll definitely want to check the official guidelines to see if that could be you. And here is a real game changer for so many students: you can work. You're allowed to work up to 48 hours every fortnight while your course is in session. Honestly, this isn't just about earning some extra cash. It's a fantastic chance to get real Australian work experience and, become a part of the local community. So, to make sense of all this, we've broken it down into 5 clear sections. First, we'll get a quick snapshot of the visa. Then, we'll dive into eligibility, cover the special rules for students under 18, talk about what to expect while you're waiting for a decision, and finally, what life is actually like once you have your visa. All right, section 1, let's get that high-level view of what this visa actually lets you do once you're in Australia. You can think of these as the 3 main pillars of your new life down under. The main reason for the visa is, of course, your education. That's number 1. But it also gives you the freedom to travel and the chance to work. These 3 things really work together to shape your entire student experience. So, those are the perks. Now for the most important question of all. Are you actually eligible? Let's get into the absolute non-negotiables that every single applicant has to meet. Think of this as your personal checklist. First things first, you have to be enrolled in a course. Can't be a student without that. Second, you absolutely must have health insurance. Specifically, it's called Overseas Student Health Cover, or OSHC. Age-wise, you need to be at least 6 years old. And if you're under 18, well, there are special welfare rules we're going to cover in just a sec. And one last thing, this is key. If you're already in Australia when you apply, you must be on a valid visa. Okay, for our younger applicants and their families, this next part is so important. The Australian government takes the welfare of minors very seriously, so these rules are incredibly strict. Let's make sure they are crystal clear. This is the big question the Department of Home Affairs needs a solid answer to before they'll grant a visa to a minor. You have to prove that you have proper welfare arrangements in place for the whole time you're under 18. So, how do you do that? You've basically got 2 main paths you can take here. The first step, though, is the same for everyone. Your parents have to give consent using Form 1229. After that, you've got a choice. Path number 1, your school or uni can formally approve your welfare arrangements with a document called a CAAW. Or, path number 2, you can nominate a specific eligible guardian using Form 157N. Now, if you do go down that nominated guardian path, you need to pay really close attention to this definition. It can't just be any family friend. We're talking a parent, a legal custodian, or a close relative who's over 21 and is either an Australian citizen, a permanent resident, or holds a valid visa themselves. And just look at this list. It really shows how thorough the government is. You're going to need that official nomination form, proof of your relationship, like birth certificates, and even police checks for your guardian, plus copies of their passport and visa. The biggest takeaway here? Start gathering these documents way ahead of time. This part of the application can really take a while. This isn't just a friendly suggestion. It's a direct quote from the official rules, and it is a strict visa condition. If you change your living situation or your guardian without getting formal, written approval first, well, your visa could get canceled. It's really that serious. And here's another one you just can't mess up. Your flight to Australia has to be booked for a date on or after the official start date of your welfare arrangements. Arriving even one single day early is a breach of your visa conditions, and that can have some pretty severe consequences. So please pay very close attention to the dates on those official letters. Okay, deep breath.
You've gathered all your documents, you've met the criteria, and you've finally submitted your application. Now comes the part that stresses everyone out: the wait. So let's talk about what actually affects those processing times.
Processing times can be all over the place, and it often comes down to these common issues: missing documents, taking too long to reply to official requests, holdups with health and character checks. Even just applying on paper instead of online can add weeks or even months to your wait time.
So how can you take back a little control? Well, here's your action plan. First, always apply online. Second, use the document checklists inside your IME account. They are there to help you. Double and triple check that you have attached every single thing they've asked for before you hit that submit button. And if you get a request for more info, treat it like it's urgent. Respond right away.
And now we're at the final section, the good part. Your visa has been approved. Let's look ahead to what it actually means to live, study, and work in Australia as a student visa holder.
Here's the most important thing to remember for this final part. Your visa isn't just an entry ticket. Think of it more like the rule book for your new life. It's a framework that balances all the incredible opportunities you're about to have with the responsibilities you have to uphold.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got all the great privileges we've talked about: studying, traveling, working. But those are only possible if you stick to the responsibilities on the right. You have to maintain your enrollment, keep your health cover up to date, and follow every single visa condition. The two sides of this table, they are completely inseparable.
So, when that visa grant notice finally lands in your inbox, it is absolutely a moment for a huge celebration. But just remember, it's not the end of the process. In so many ways, getting your visa is the true beginning of an incredible educational journey in Australia. We wish you the absolute best of luck.